Hey, yo, Mo, I'm fucking with this.
Hey, what's good, everybody? This is your boy Juice Warner with another episode of Smoke and Jokes, where we talk about today's topics while indulging in the greatest of herbal essences. Today's show is brought to you by Sour OG, a very mellow high with a high impact to it. Oh, I love the strain. Okay, today I want to talk to you about Freemasonry. But first, this show is about me and my experience, my first experience with Freemasonry. And from that, I'm going to start getting into Freemasonry as the shows goes on. But in order to know Freemasonry and whether or not it has an impact on our people and this, that, and the third, a lot of times we don't even know what Freemasonry is. We know something about looking for a handshake and, looking for a symbol. And that's really about it. Everything else is, I used to be in it. It's 33 degrees and, like a bunch of stuff that's really in real fake. You understand what I'm saying? Like the stuff to confuse you. So, in order for me to explain Freemasonry, first you would have to understand what it is and, the players. So I decided to tell my story of my first encounter with Freemasonry. And it goes like this. Me and my friends, we was on 161st Street one day in Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. And we were walking out. We from Harlem, the Polo Grounds right across the bridge. So we was in Yankee Stadium all the damn time. That shit was nothing. You know what I mean? Like practically grew up there. So one day we walk in, this is before Yankee Stadium was moved across the street. So over on that side used to be a park. So we walking over that way, like where McDonald's is at and all of that. And this young girl, she was with her little friends. We was young kids too. So, she was younger than us. She was in our age group. And she came up to me and was like, "Oh, so you God?" And my first thing is yes. Now, the reason why my natural reaction is yes is because growing up, I always questioned the Bible, always questioned the stories, and at least the way it was given. I was too young to really understand the stories, so I had to accept it in the way that it was given. And in the way that it was given, it didn't make sense. You understand what I'm saying? It was given in the way of, like what? That doesn't, you know what I mean? Like the pieces doesn't add up. And since I'm logical, that sent me on a journey. And inside of that, I took on, because I hear people, they always took on the different characters in the Bible. So why wouldn't I want to take on the most powerful one, God? And, some people would be like, "Oh, that's blasphemous, this, that, and third." Well, whatever. That part will come up later. At that time, like I said, I'm a young kid. At 7 years old, I was already questioning. So for me, my mind state was that. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm always going to gravitate to the grander side. So why wouldn't I want to be God? You understand what I'm saying? So that's how that came up. So when the young lady said that, I was like, sure. Yeah, I'm God. And a friend of mine, he was like, I guess, like, let me explain. I was street, but I wasn't street smart. If you understand that, like I wasn't street smart. I didn't know the things of the street. I just knew, the streets. I knew like life and that type of stuff, but I didn't really know the inner workings. So I didn't know gangs and things that are perceived to be gangs, and like I didn't know that stuff. I didn't have that upbringing. I was raised with a Cuban grandmother and a Jamaican father who both came to America at the same time. You understand what I'm saying? So my grandmother was just about as American as her son and her daughter. You understand what I'm saying? This wasn't what they knew. So, me, being in that household, how would I know if these are not the subjects that's coming up? Like these are not what I would normally be hearing inside my household. I don't have older brothers, cousins, sisters, anything like that for me to have an understanding of the streets. I learned the streets as the first person. You understand what I'm saying? As the one who's just coming out. So I didn't have like a learning curve. So things that I learned was on the fly. And so this is something that I learned on the fly when she said that. And my friend's natural reaction was, whoa, no. And I was like, yeah, if you know me, I'm full forward this shit. I'm pushing forward. What the fuck you mean? No, nah, nigga. Yeah, I'm God. Shit, she just acknowledged my greatness. The fucking had it with you. Don't try to hold that back. You know what I'm saying? That's how I took it. So, she, I guess she went and got her peoples. And like I said, at this time, but I didn't know she was going to get him. She just walked away, with her friends. And, so I'm with my friends and I'm getting this real quick crash course on, God bodies. Like I didn't want, what the fuck is a God body? I don't know what that shit is. You know what I'm saying? A side of me was intrigued due to the fact that, wow, there's a group of people who, who think like me. Oh shit. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So, she winds up coming back with the guys. It was like a whole bunch of guys. And then, so, she's like, yeah, that's him, so, my name, I guess, was enough for them to not even come in a certain way. They just came with questioning me. Like, oh, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like, and so I'm answering questions, but I don't know what the hell I'm answering. You know what I'm saying? They're just talking to me. So inside of that, I'm gonna call the leader. The leader was like, so what's now Cypher? And I'm not saying that he was the leader, but he was the most, forward. So he was taking that position at that moment in time. And, he was like, so what's now Cypher? And, I knew what to decipher something was. So when he said now Cypher, I was like, to not be able to know something, you know what I mean? And the dude that was with him, one of the side dudes, was like, no. And, cause he's asking the question a few times and I'm repeating it like, like to not really know, you know what I'm saying? He was like, no. And I'm looking at him like, yeah, whatever. So now mind you, inside of that, I walked away, with none of the complications that most people would normally endure, which is like, like a universal beatdown, they would call it. You know what I'm saying? Like you coming into something and you violating. But in this sense, my ignorance was bliss. My intelligence level of taking a word and, I don't, not, on purposely, putting it to something, but enough for whatever it was that I was able to walk away from that situation with nothing happening. You know what I mean? And so inside that, I'm like, yeah, I'm God. You know what I'm saying? I was able to do that. You understand what I'm saying? And stand what they call on your square, you know what I'm saying? Standing firm and not wavering. Like this is what it is and I'm just sticking with it. And I guess in that, I was able to walk away from that situation. Now, you might sit there inside of this conversation and go, well, the 5% nation, how the fuck is he saying that the 5% nation, of gods and earth, how would that be Freemasonry? Right? And in time, because the next episode, I'm going to give you, what they call the lessons. And now inside of these lessons is where you learn Freemasonry. Because anything that I'm saying, you got government papers, like there's nothing that I'm saying as far as those lessons that I'm giving to anybody, even though that just me saying this alone is going to cause the conflict. In order for you to reveal Freemasonry, you got to reveal the Masons. You understand what I'm saying? And then that's what's going to cause a problem, because let's say 90% don't even know that they're Masons or practicing Freemasonry. You understand what I'm saying? And that's where this is for. This is for those who might not even know on their side that they're indulging in something because nobody told them. You understand what I'm saying? Nobody told them what Freemasonry was except in the lessons, but you're being indoctrinated into the lesson. So you're going to be blinded to what you're actually being pulled into. You're not listening to the wordings that is being used, like let's build. You understand what I'm saying? Even the forming of a cipher and, because all of these things play a part. You might not know it. You might not know why these things are there. You understand what I'm saying? So you don't know that you're practicing Freemasonry. That's the greatest part, that, they say like you're in a trance. You understand what I'm saying? Like like you become a new person. So, okay, your name was Daniel. Now your name is, Righteous Supreme Mathematics. And you know what I'm saying? Where I never had to, go through that because my name is Malik. You understand what I'm saying? And you'll understand how all of that plays a part and why I never joined Freemasonry. I never was in none of these organizations, but I've always been around these organizations and have been respected. I know the information, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just not that. You understand what I'm saying? And so inside of not being that, I was able to see what it really was. So I'm going to start off with letting you understand Freemasonry through my experience. And from that, I'll be able to start breaking it down so you'll know not only what Freemasonry is, but how it's used and how to spot it. Peace. This is Juice Wonder with another episode of Smoking Joe. I hope y'all enjoyed this one. Please come back for the next one. And don't forget to hit that like, that subscribe, and that notification so you can get updates when new content is dropped.